Hey guys, what's up? Tyler here with T-Game and Tech, and in this video I'm going to be sharing with you guys my Nintendo 64 collection. And I actually have my Nintendo 64, it is right here. This is my Nintendo 64. Technically it's me and my sister's, but let's face it, whenever we got it, I was the one that played it most of the time. I let her play occasionally. And so this is from back in 1998, my first console that I could ever say that was mine. Absolutely love this thing. It's a little dinged up, it's a little bit dirty, but it still works. Works like a boss. And it really takes me back because it's, like I said, the first console I've ever owned. And I've had a lot of games with it. I've also had a lot of different controllers. With that comes all these controllers and all the corded mess that they have. Back in the day when controllers usually had cords. The Nintendo 64 controller, definitely one of the weirdest looking controllers out there. A lot of people were like, what in the world, whenever it got released. And I'm still kind of like, what in the world when I see it. A very interesting controller design. And if you look at this is actually pretty neat. If you didn't notice this already, this part right here is the nunchuck for the Wii. Right here. It's the nunchuck. Even with the little trigger button on the back, it's the nunchuck. I didn't even notice that until a few years ago, and my mind was blown. But this controller, definitely, it was different, but it's definitely awesome. And I have a blue controller, a yellow controller, and some weird off-brand red controller. Actually, I have it right here. It looks like this, and it's actually missing a plate. I have no idea who makes it. Super Pad 64 it's called. But I didn't like it at all, and I always give this controller to somebody who I really didn't like, or I would never have it because I just don't like playing with it, and it's just a weird controller. And so, of course, with a Nintendo 64 console and controller, you're going to have a lot of games. And so I have all of my games laying in front of me, and I'm actually going to go through every single one. Not going to talk about each one in great detail, but I'm going to highlight a few of them. First up, we have none other than Super Mario 64. How else could you start this video and countdown or rundown of games without Super Mario 64? This game revolutionized gaming, 3D gaming. I mean, it's still awesome. Like, how can you not play this game and say it's not awesome? This game changed a lot of things. Mario's first 3D outing, it was crazy. Like, when this game got released, it was crazy, and it still is crazy. It is a great game, and definitely one of my favorites, but not my absolute favorite. But this is definitely a solid number 2, and you can see it's rated from kids to adults, so anybody can play this game. And yeah, if you haven't played Super Mario Brothers 64, or yeah, Super Mario 64, not Super Mario Brothers, because Luigi's not in it. If you haven't played Super Mario 64, you need to download it on the Wii Shop or buy Nintendo 64 somehow and play it, because this is really one of the greatest games ever made. Next we have Paper Mario. This started the Paper Mario series. It is a great game. I absolutely loved it when I first got it, and it's definitely a solid game, and I suggest you try it out. And next we have none other than The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. And I actually have both the official guide to Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time along with this Versus Books guide, which isn't like Nintendo official, but I like this one better. As you can see, it's definitely been through its paces. I mean, here goes, what's this? The Temple of Time. Here's the Temple of Time, blocking my face. And yeah, there's pages ripped out. Somebody cut out a picture of Zelda. I'm pretty sure that was my sister. She cut out a picture of Zelda. She's not there anymore. It's just Link by himself with Navy. But this definitely has been through its paces. My favorite Ocarina of Time guide. Hopefully all the pages are still there after all these years. But I do prefer it over the actual official guide. And so, Ocarina of Time, great game. One of my favorite games ever. Best on the Nintendo 64 in my opinion. The first Zelda game I ever really played and owned. And I absolutely love it. And it's probably my favorite video game of all time because it is my first Zelda game. And it was just awesome. And so next we have Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, which is another great Nintendo 64 Zelda game. The only other Nintendo 64 Zelda game. And it's very much different from Ocarina of Time, but I still enjoy it. I suggest you do try it out if you haven't ever played it. Next we have Super Smash Bros. Now this started the crazy Super Smash Bros. Era that we know and love. Super Smash Bros. Is one of the best series ever. You can beat up people. You can use Mario to beat up Pikachu. And I mean, you can use Donkey Kong to beat up Jigglypuff. Who doesn't love that? I absolutely love it. I mean, it's just awesome being able to be a Nintendo character and beat each other up. You just can't get any better than that. There have been other people that try to mimic it, that game, that kind of style, stuff like PlayStation All-Stars. But, I mean, you just can't beat Super Smash Bros. It was the first. Nintendo did it. They did it right. And I'm super pumped for the new Smash Bros. That's coming out for the Wii U. And so, if we move on down the list, we have Kirby and the Crystal Shards. This is a great game. The first Kirby game I've ever played and owned. Definitely would suggest it. It is a great game. Next, we have Mario Tennis, Mario's venture on Nintendo 64 playing tennis. It's a good game. Along with Mario Kart 64, the classic. Some people say it's the best Mario Kart out there. I'd say it's definitely contends for that. This game is great. Always fun to play multiplayer. Then we have Mario Party 3. Now, this is the only Mario Party game that I own for the Nintendo 64, but it is a lot of fun. All the Mario Party games are pretty fun, especially the older ones, because that was when they were just experimenting with Mario Party. They didn't have all these crazy features now where like you blow into a microphone and all this crazy stuff they make you do for the newer games, but it's definitely a lot of fun. And so the next game is Yoshi's Story. And now this game, I just absolutely love it. I mean, it is like the coolest game ever. And I guess I could say it's the cutest game ever. Is that okay for me to say? Of course it is. This game is really one of the cutest games ever. Who doesn't want to be Yoshi and run around eating Shy Guys, eating fruit, and just being awesome? I mean, this game is great. And I'm excited to see the new Yoshi game that's coming out. I'm a little bit upset that it's kind of like this yarn themed, but I know another Yoshi game will come along later that's kind of more true to the old Yoshi story style and art style. But this game is great. Definitely suggest it if you haven't played it yet. And now this game, I don't even know why I have it. It's the Nagano Winter Olympics 98. I don't know why we have it. I played curling on it like once. The ski jump, it's impossible. It's not really a lot of fun. I didn't really enjoy it, but it's here and I own it. And so I have a couple other sports games. All-Star Baseball 99, it's a good game. NASCAR 99, this game's pretty fun. Just wrecking into people, wrecking cars, you can't go wrong. The NFL Quarterback Club 98, with good old Brett Favre on there. I really didn't play it much, I don't know about it. That's probably a game my dad played. And then we have Lego Racers. This game is actually really fun. It's kind of the Mario Kart of Legos. And you can build your own rider, build your own car. It's really cool and I really like it. And it's definitely a solid game. If you haven't played it, I'd suggest you search it out and try to locate it. I don't think it's available in the Wii shop or anything like that, but it is a lot of fun and I would suggest it. And last but not least, in the kind of sports theme, this isn't even sports, Star Wars Rogue Squadron, I guess because you drive a vehicle or fly a vehicle. This game is awesome. It's just great. Rogue Squadron is one of the best games that I've ever played. Star Wars games. I haven't played many Star Wars games, but Rogue Squadron was just epic. Being able to control the X-Wing, the Millennium Falcon, the TIE Fighter, the TIE Interceptor, all whatever it was called. This game was just awesome and I would highly suggest it. So next we have Banjo-Kazooie, and this game is really funny. The humor in this game is pretty funny. Some of it's a little risque, but this is kind of like Super Mario Bros. 64 or Super Mario 64. You have to collect the Jiggies. It's kind of the same theme, but it's completely different. This game has different controls. It's a game of its own. If you've played Banjo-Kazooie, you know what it's about. It's extremely fun, and it has a sequel, Banjo-Tooie, and it's a lot of fun too. It improves on the first one immensely. They're both great games. I still think I might like the first one a little bit better, but Banjo-Tooie is pretty awesome. But I would suggest getting Banjo-Kazooie or Banjo-Tooie because they're both really awesome games. And so as we go down the home stretch, these are some games that I really don't play that much except for one of them. This one is, don't judge me, Rugrats the movie. And now, I mean, come on. I was how old? Of course. You know, I still watch the Rugrats. What's wrong with the Rugrats? But we had Rugrats in Paris the movie, and we also had Rugrats Scavenger Hunt. Now, don't be fooled. Some of these games, these mini games in this game are actually pretty tough and they're pretty fun. And so, you know, don't go bad-mouthing Rugrats before you actually play the game. There are some fun mini games on these actual games, but I don't really play them that much anymore. I don't really know the last time I played them, but they're fun little games if you ever want to pick it up and just play a random Rugrats game, I guess. The next game is Bomberman 64, and this game it was a lot of fun. I played Bomberman before, kind of like the overhead look Bomberman for like the Super Nintendo, stuff like that. But this is Bomberman 64 when you're in an overworld and it's completely different. You're meeting other people, you're making allies, you think you make allies, all kinds of upgrades, you can get to wear different suits. This game was really cool, and I really would suggest it to anybody looking to play a Bomberman game that's kind of older school. Bomberman 64 was really awesome. And to wrap up this video, we have Namco Museum 64, and this just has Pac-Man, Mrs. Pac-Man, Galaga, and Dig Dug. Galaga's awesome. I love that game. And it's just nice, you know, being able to play Pac-Man or whatever on the Nintendo 64. And so this is all of my collections. These are all my Nintendo 64 games, my Nintendo 64 itself. I'm pretty sure I have every game that I've ever owned. I haven't sold any Nintendo 64 games that I know of, unless my parents sold them without telling me. But I don't have any memories missing, or I don't see that any game's missing. I have all my games. I love the Nintendo 64. I love all the games. They are great, except for the Olympics one. That one wasn't great. But it's a great system. If you don't have a Nintendo 64 and if you've never played one, you've definitely been missing out. If you have a Wii or a Wii U, I would definitely suggest going to the Wii U eShop or the Wii eShop and downloading Nintendo 64 games and playing them. I know some of the ones that I mentioned are available to download, like Super Mario 64, Paper Mario, Super Smash Bros., Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask. I know they're all available, and I definitely suggest you go download them. And so I plan on doing more videos like these that are kind of like my Super Nintendo collection, my NES collection, which is actually really small, my Game Boy Color collection, Game Boy Advance, maybe thrown in with that, the Wii collection, and the GameCube collection. Wii U doesn't get its own video because literally I have two videos, Nintendo Land, New Super Mario Bros. U. There you go. But I want to do other videos like this, share with you guys my collections, and maybe see what collections you have, what games you have, and which ones stand out to you, and which are some of your favorite Nintendo games for the Nintendo 64. And so that's going to wrap this video up of my Nintendo 64 collection. And so if you guys enjoyed the video, hit that like button. It helps support the channel. Comment down below, like I said before, with maybe some of your favorite Nintendo 64 games, some games that stand out in your collection. And let me know what kind of other videos you'd like to see. I definitely have some more planned, so you want to make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for that, for the other game collection videos and series that I have coming up. And thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you check out all the social links. They're all in the description below. Make sure you subscribe, like I said, and we'll see you guys in the next video.